Yeah, how you doing, everybody? It's still Monday the 14th of December 2009, and it's late on in the afternoon, and I just want to check a few things before I do this little snippet on Mac Namara, Bernard Mac Namara. And we've three major property developers in this country, and the three of them are, one of them's not here anymore, but the two that are the two leading ones that are here are Liam Carroll of Zoe Developments and Bernard Mac Namara, and he has a huge group of companies. Say he's probably bigger than Liam Carroll, but it doesn't matter. And then we have the famous one who's jumped ship, this fella Derry Quinlan, the ex-tax inspector, who he was the biggest property developer, but he didn't tend to do greenfield sites. He tended to do property development that was already developed. Do you understand? He bought it and resold it, tranches and various things like that. So he was just a dealer, okay, like a property dealer more than a developer. Anyway, between the three of them, they borrowed colossal sums of money. They say between the three of them they borrowed 5.5 billion. Sorry, no, that's not true. Just less than 5 billion. Now that's more than what the budget was last week. That's more than the budget. To give you an idea of what we're talking about. Anyway, we're only going to talk about two of them today, and in particular Bernard Mac Namara. And what happened was two of these men, Bernard Mac Namara and Derry Quinlan, got involved with another crowd called the Dublin Docklands Development Authority, and they bought a site, a 25-acre site, a greenfield site. It actually had a factory built on it, but I believe it's been knocked down. It's just flat site, and down at the Docklands, and it was an old bottling plant. They made bottles up, right? And it was reckoned by all the good, the good and the mighty who do everything right in our society and have ended us up on all this shite. They reckoned this was the investment opportunity of a lifetime, and it was promoted by none other than Davies for their private clients. And they got a large group of their private clients, and they handed over one section of them to Bernard Mac Namara and another section of their private clients over to Derry Quinlan. And the private clients were putting up around about 5 million each. That's what they were putting up. And Bernard Mac Namara had to find for his investment, the total site cost 420 million euros. So each of them had to find around about 140 million. Okay. And anyway, cut a long story short, Bernard Mac Namara used two groups inside his little element. He got the money from these 10 people from Davies' private client list. And these are all the seriously good in the mighty. By the way, when you read this article in the Irish Times, I'll put the link up to it there. It'll give you the background of this and lists the 10 people off, 10 men. Lists them all off, okay? Who they are. No, these are the seriously good and mighty. Anyway, so he had that group of people, and then he used money from the Balkans, from Balkan banks, which was backed by the Balkan Mafia for the rest of it. And that's why he's running around with bodyguards today, because he's lost that money. This money's all gone. They did an independent valuation just about 3 or 4 months ago of this site, and it's worth, they reckon, the independent valuer said optimistically it was worth just over 50 million. But a proper valuation could be well into the downside of 54 million. They've lost their shirt on this. The 5 millions are gone. All the 5 millions are gone. All their money's gone. They'll never ever get it back. And a lot of these guys are in their 60s and 70s. They'll never get this money back. They'll be pushing up daisies, right? Anyway, the bottom line about it is, we live in fascinating and interesting times, because what happened was these guys, the 10 of these guys, then decided to sue Bernard Mac Namara to wind him up in the courts. So that's what's going on in the courts at the minute. What happened was Mac Namara told him, correctly so, you wind me up, you won't get a penny. You won't get a penny, you won't get a light. Now, no matter how wealthy you are, if you put up 5 million, it's a lot of money. Especially if it's your own money. That has been these guys' own money. They don't like losing their own money. When it's bank money and it's tied up in companies and all that, it doesn't really matter. But when it's their own money, no matter how big you are, you feel loss of 5 million. Please believe me. Especially, as I say, when it's your own money. Anyway, a couple of these guys got together, and what they did was they approached Mac Namara in secret, and they told Mac Namara as follows: we're going to give you an introduction to a man up in County Louth. A good man up in County Louth. His name is Larry. Alright? He's big in the beef industry. And when we give you this introduction to this man, you're going to go up and you're going to meet him, and he's going to give you a letter. And the letter's going to be to the head of a state of a country called Libya. A man called Colonel Gaddafi. And this good man up in Castle Bellingham, he's on first name terms with this Colonel Gaddafi. He can ring Colonel Gaddafi up and speak to him. Hello Colonel, how's it going? How you doing? How's the son doing? Is he married yet? Yeah. All that sort of stuff. He's on those sort of terms with this Colonel Gaddafi. And what will happen is, you will fly out to Libya then. Okay? And you're going to meet up with Colonel Gaddafi. Alright? And Colonel Gaddafi's going to help sort out a lot of your problems, Bernard. And when he does, what's going to happen is, you're going to sort out our problems. Is that okay? Are you agreeable to that, Bernard? Yeah, I think it would be, yeah. Because I don't want to go bust, and you'll put me bust if you proceed with this stuff in the courts. But then nobody get anything. Yeah, well, this just suits all our interests. So 3 weeks ago, Bernard Mac Namara went up to County Louth, to Castle Bellingham, and he had a big long meeting with this man, this good man called Larry. And Larry told him, I'll give you this letter to my friend the Colonel, and you go out to Libya and you meet him. And what he'll do is he'll give you a major state civil engineering contract. And all you have to do is do it. And you'll get the money. And then you have to pay, you know, my friends that give you the introduction here, you have to pay them off first. Are we agreed on that? They get the first time you get money, they get paid off. Are you agreed with that? Oh, that sounds good to me. So 3 weeks ago, he flew off, Bernard Mac Namara flew off to Libya with the introduction from that good man up in Castle Bellingham. And what happened was, he did get a major state contract. So now all his problems are sorted out. Well, his personal problems anyway. The key players in this list of men that's listed in the Irish Times there, they won't be hounding him anymore. I'll leave it to your own imagination to work out who is up from that area and who from that area would know that good man. Alright? And what happened was they're going to be sorted out. So about 3 or 4 of them out of that list of 10 people, they're all going to be sorted out. The rest can go whistle fucking Dixie. They're not going to be sorted out. And the people in the Balkans, he was on the people in the Balkans. By the way, lads, don't be worrying about killing me or anything like that. You don't have to do that. I've got a major contract, a world contract. I've a new company started up, got a major contract going down, and I've got international banking and all for it. Probably the banks, the Libyan banks, giving the money for it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's going ahead. Bernard Mac Namara is rescued. Several of these people are rescued off that list. 2 or 3 of them are definitely rescued. The rest can, as I say, can go and whistle Dixie, so there'll be a big fallout there. The Balkan people are going to be rescued as well, as far as possible. They'd kill them otherwise, they don't get their money back. And things are looking very good for Bernard Mac Namara. So it's a case of bring on the Premier Grand crew, and let's open up a box of #1 Monte Cristos for Christmas. And the wife and I, we may take a villa down in Libya over Christmas, and we'd be quaffing to Colonel Gaddafi and his sons. Wonderful world we live in. Good luck, everybody. Bye.